You know, some folks just don't know when to back off, especially when they've been running the show for way too long, thinking they're untouchable, like kings of their little fiefdom. I mean, picture this. After 30 years busting my hump as a detective in the state police, chasing down every lowlife from drug runners to white-collar crooks, I finally cash in my chips and buy this sweet cabin by Willow Creek, figuring it's time for some real peace. Fishing at dawn, grilling burgers at dusk, no more midnight calls about some fresh crime scene. But oh man, on moving day, this woman barrels up like a storm cloud, clipboard in hand, demanding 40 grand just to let me unpack my own damn boxes, calling it essential community dues, or some nonsense, like she's the gatekeeper to paradise itself. Her name was Karen Blackwell, HOA president for 15 years straight, and let me tell you, she had that vibe, the perfectly coiffed hair, the crisp designer blouse that screamed, "I've never lifted a finger for real work," and eyes that could freeze lava if you crossed her. She storms up as the movers are hauling in my recliner, yelling, "Hold it right there! Who gave you permission to invade Willow Creek? This is my territory, and nobody settles here without my say-so." I try to stay cool. I'm Mike Thompson, retired detective, not looking for trouble. But inside, my gut's twisting because I've seen this before. Power-drunk folks who build empires on fear, squeezing neighbors dry to feed their ego. I hand back her fancy fee sheet. $15,000 for premium Creek View rights, $10,000 for neighborhood harmony bond, another $12,000 for executive oversight services, and a cool $3,000 for Blackwell administrative flair. And say, "Ma'am, I poured over every HOA doc during closing. None of this is legit." Her face turns beet red, veins popping like she's about to erupt, and she hisses, "You think you can waltz in here? Ignore the rules I set? This creek, this whole enclave, I made it what it is, kept out the riffraff, boosted property values sky high. Cross me, and you'll regret it." That's when she drops the bomb. Her husband's Sheriff Tom Blackwell, the big cheese in the county, and together they've got this iron grip. Her collecting fees to fund their lavish life. Him backing it up with badges and threats. All because years ago, when Willow Creek was just a rundown spot, they swooped in, bought influence, and turned it into their personal cash cow, resenting anyone who didn't bow down. The harassment kicked in fast like they'd rehearsed it. Tires on my truck slashed overnight with a note saying, "Pay up or pack up," scrawled on pricey stationery that screamed Karen's vanity. Then the inspectors show up, nitpicking my dock for unapproved tweaks, even though my permits were ironclad. I flash the papers, and the guy mumbles, "Must be a mix-up." But his eyes say he's just a pawn in their game. Evenings turn into a farce. Cops rolling up 3 times in one night for noise violations. First for my soft jazz radio, second for tapping a nail into the wall, third for sitting quietly with a book. Each officer looks more sheepish than the last. One even whispers, "Someone's gunning for you, sir. Sorry about this." I start piecing it together, talking, or trying to, with neighbors. Old Mrs. Ellis, tending her hydrangeas, jumps like a startled deer when I say hi, glances around, and bolts inside, locking the door with a click that echoes fear. Young Dad next door, hosing his minivan, spots me and suddenly remembers something urgent indoors. It's clear. This isn't just HOA busybody stuff. It's a full-on racket, born from the Blackwell's greed after Tom got elected sheriff on promises of cleaning up the county, only to use his power to shield Karen's shakedowns, all while they pocket cash for vacations and that gaudy extension on their mansion, leaving folks like Mrs. Ellis skimping on groceries to avoid fines. Overhearing Karen on her phone at the mailboxes seals it. She's strong-arming a local plumber, smooth as silk. "Oh, Mr. Hayes, your work van's fine, but that monthly support contribution? $500 keeps inspections smooth, customers happy, no surprise citations or bad reviews popping up out of nowhere." Her voice drips with that fake sweetness, but the threat's crystal. Pay or pay the price. My detective instincts fire up. Retirement be damned. I can't ignore this rot eating at good people's lives. That night, Tom shows up himself. All 6'4" of him looming on my porch, hand near his holster like we're in a Western showdown. "Mike," he growls, "you're stirring up trouble, harassing my wife, disrupting our tight-knit haven." I stand firm, replying, "Sheriff, I just declined bogus charges. Looks like extortion to me." He leans in, breath hot with coffee and menace. "This is how Willow Creek works. Karen keeps it pristine. I enforce the peace. Buck the system, and life gets complicated. Inside, I'm seething. Not just for me, but for the neighbors trapped in this web. Their dreams crushed under the Blackwell's boot because challenging them meant risking everything. Jobs, homes, even safety, all tied to Tom's badge and Karen's vindictive streak from her days as a failed real estate mogul, bitter about outsiders ruining her vision. Things boil over that Saturday. I'm unloading the last boxes when Karen plants herself in my driveway with a gaggle of reluctant neighbors, faces pale like they're at a funeral, forced there by her barked orders. "Stop this instant!" she shrieks, arms flailing. "You were warned. No fees, no entry to my Willow Creek." I keep stacking boxes, saying evenly, "This is my home. Bought fair and square. Lakes don't have queens, ma'am." That sets her off like a rocket. Face twisting in fury, she paces, ranting, "How dare you? I built this from swamp to splendor. Protected values, weeded out trash like you. You're nothing, a pest destroying my realm." Her voice cracks, makeup smearing as she dials Tom. "Get here now. He's trespassing, harassing me. Bring backup." Sirens wail soon after. Tom rolling up with 2 cruisers. Lights flashing to cow the growing crowd of neighbors peeking from porches. Phones out, whispering hopes like, "Maybe this guy's the one who ends it." Tom strides over, booming, "Mike, I warned you! Pay up or face arrest for defying HOA mandates!" The air's electric, tension thick as fog off the creek. Karen smirks, thinking victory's hers, but I've been waiting for this. Time slows as I reach for my wallet. Crowd holding breath, kids wide-eyed, elders nodding like they sense the tide turning. I hand my ID to the youngest deputy first, watching his face drain white. "Sheriff, you gotta see this." Tom snatches it, scans, and crumples. State Police Detective Mike Thompson, 30 years, badge gleaming like Judgment Day. "What the—" he stammers, world shattering. I speak clear for all. "Sheriff Blackwell, I'm a state detective, higher rank, and I've seen enough corruption here to launch a full probe." Gasps ripple through the neighbors. Karen wails, "You tricked us. Not fair. You're a cop." But the dam breaks. Folks step forward. Mrs. Ellis tearfully shares skipping meds to pay harmony fees. The plumber admits near bankruptcy from contributions. A mom reveals threats over her kid's swing set. Tom's bluster fades to begs. "Mike, we can sort this quietly. Professionals, right?" I shake my head. "You preyed on the vulnerable, Tom. Stole dreams for your greed. This ends now." Evidence pours in. Secret recordings, cash ledgers, exposing their racket that netted hundreds of thousands, all while they played protectors, really just parasites feeding on fear. 6 months on, federal courthouse steps feel like sweet vindication. Tom gets 12 years for racketeering and abuse of power, Karen 8 for extortion and fraud, assets seized to repay over $700,000 to victims. Willow Creek blooms anew. Mrs. Ellis heads a fair HOA, transparent as glass. Tony the plumber oversees funds. We built that playground Karen promised, but pocketed for herself. Families thrive. Kids splash freely, barbecues buzz with real laughter. Property values up not from fear, but genuine community. My story went viral, sparking HOA reforms nationwide, task forces busting similar scams, even Congress passing laws for transparency. Retirement's golden now, coffee by the creek, chats with neighbors turned friends. But as I sip, watching sunset gild the water, my phone buzzes with a tip. The Blackwells were just cogs in a bigger machine, shadowy developers pulling strings across states, and word is, they've got me in their sights for dismantling their Willow Creek cash flow. Revenge brewing, maybe. Makes you wonder if true peace ever lasts when power's at stake. Hey, if this tale of standing up to bullies hit home, drop a like, subscribe for more real-life karma stories. But tell me in the comments, what would you do facing a HOA tyrant like Karen? Ever dealt with community corruption, or think folks like the Blackwells deserve a second chance? Share your take. Let's debate justice in the real world.